Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my presentation. My topic is public key infrastructure and a simple overview of their concepts. So, let's see the basic infrastructure, public key infrastructure overview. Basically, a public key should be a two, sorry, not a public key. A public key infrastructure basically is a two key which is asymmetric encryption system. It is mainly used for communication. It is a framework, like you can say it is a tool to use. So, this is a system which can be universally used in multiple systems and vendors. Mainly a public key infrastructure, mainly more precisely, a two key asymmetric encryption system gives us confidentiality and provides us authentication. The authentication system is used throughout the CA, so we'll talk about this later, and digital certificates. So, and confidentiality because of a specific system which we will talk about now. So, let's see this example that I am requesting Alice Alice's public key. Now, let's say Alice has two key pair. Just like I said before, asymmetric system. She has a public key and a private key. So since his public key is public, so I have asked Alice to give her public key to me. Then Alice sends me her public key. Then I encrypt the message using Alice's public key and send the message to Alice. Then Alice will use her private key to decrypt the message, because in this system you cannot use the same key to encrypt or decrypt at the same time. That is why it is called asymmetric system. So here you can see this system gives us confidentiality, since Alice is the only one who can use or what can I say, use or decrypt the message which is encrypted by Alice's public key. But there is a problem that if someone fakes Alice's address or something, and she sends her public key to me, I without me knowing that she is Alice, I send her a message with encrypting a public key of her, and she decrypts it with her private key. And then if I give her very secure or confidential messages or something very important, then I would not be the wise one. So there would be a big problem. So there comes the authentication problem, and for that we use digital certificates. So here you can see digital certificate mainly helps us with authentication. It is associated with a public key by an individual company, and it is issued by a certificate authority. This certificate authority mainly is a individual third party company or something else. So how a digital certificate looks like, here you can see an example such as the certificate. This is the current ideal certificate issue system. It is X.509. Here you can see the certificate will have these all types of things and more of these if it is necessary. Like, here you can see validity, that when this key is valid, the time that currently I am using from here to after 2 days or before 4 days. And you can see here the public key algorithm which is used to encrypt or decrypt the key. As you can see, the subject of public key issued unique identifier, certificate signature algorithm. Here you can see the issuer, which is the certificate authority. So here you go, here mainly digital certificate is a certificate which is issued for an individual or a company who uses it, and which is issued by a certificate authority which everyone trusts, so we can send secure messages. So let's talk about the certificate authority. Certificate authority is a server which is responsible for issuing, revoking, and distributing digital certificates. Often it is a third party organization such as DigiCert or VeriSign, and these companies are commercially used. There are other systems like some big companies or small, doesn't matter. They can have their own in-house certificate authorities, such as Windows store system gives some separate tools that could locally issue some certificates in a local storages, you can say. And then after issuing those digital certificates, certificate authority stores the public key in a directory that is available to anyone that wants to verify your certificate. So now let's see how this system works. So here, same situation, me and Alice. I want to send a message to Alice, but instead of getting the public key from Alice, I am getting it from certificate authority. So I am requesting the Alice certificate from the CA. I can also request it from Alice, but it would be not wise because I have told you that before. So after my request to the CA gives me the validated and issued certificate of Alice, and then I encrypt my message using Alice's verified public key containing within the certificate. So then I sent that message to Alice, and then Alice decrypted the message with her private key. So this concept covers both the authentication and the confidentiality. So let's talk about the RAs, which is Registration Authority. Registration Authority is basically something which takes some loads off from the CAs. You can say it is like a secretary of the CA. And when a registration authority is involved in a certificate issue system, then one has to, suppose I am sending messages to Alice and I am issuing a certificate, so I have to interact in front end directly with the registration authorities. Then the registration authority will take my information. I will provide it mainly, as you can say. Then that information will be identified that registration authority before confirming that the CA can issue the certificate. Then that goes to the CA and CA certificate issues the certificate. Note that RA does not sign certificates. It just confirms it and the CA does it. So now after this system or these, the public key infrastructure, if it has to work perfectly, it needs to have a system where it can revoke some keys when it is unimportant, or in some cases, or it has to issue new keys. So this is a system that is called certificate revocation lists. So CRL is a system of the CA publishers. It is used mainly to revoke certificates, like in certain cases. So here you can see the reasons of a certificate might be on the CRL for revocation is: the first cause is the certificate expiration, then there is the certificate revocation, so it is permanent. And when it happens, when there is a compromised private key. Then there is a human resource reason, such as let's say I have issued a certificate, and after some time I have totally disconnected my section of it, and I'm totally not using it. So this is an issue. Then when I have a company, suppose I have a company and I change the company's name, physical address, DNS, etc. then also the certificate of it is revoked. And there are more other reasons for any reasons that is important for the expiration. If these cases happens, then the certificate is revoked and it is happened permanently. But if something happens, like I am in a job and I am withholding or I am suspended for 2 months, if something like that happens in a certificate issue system, that will cause a certification hold. It will not revoke certificate directly, but it will get in a certificate hold system. Then after that, it might or might not revoke. And a big reason, another one is certificate owner or administration can request the certificate to be revoked. Because if I have found out that my private key is compromised or something like severe like that happen, then I must have to issue something to revoke my certificate. So after all these, if what if my key gets lost? Then what I have to do? Then I have to, if a person loses his keys, then he has to sorry, my mistake. He has to contract the key recovery server where a live person is sitting, and to identify or recognize or validate if in some cases, and take some information, and he will compare those and identify whether he has to recover those key or not. So there is a live person who has the access to the key recovery system. Basically, that system or that house is very much secure, and it is taken too much secure in such place, so the keys are not lost and the keys are recovered with security. And there sometimes there takes not one but more than one agent to recover a single key, if that is such an importance in the place. So when someone or some person or some company is requesting to recover a key, such if say like I have a company and that company has a fire burn and my whole system is burned out, so my key was stored there and I lost it. So then I have to give some informations to recover my key. Here you can see those informations like that proof that the request is from an authorized recovery agent, that I am authorized. Then name of the key owner, the which to which the key was issued, the time the key was created, and the issuing server, which server issued that certificate. So after getting these information, the key recovery server will validate and see whether the key should be recovered or not. But that is optional, as you can see. Here comes another system, which is key escrow. This is a system which takes a copy or copies of your private key, which is kept in an archival system. Sometimes it takes multiple databases only to section the part of the keys and take them to those databases. Like suppose I have 100 databases, and there are a key which is my private key. I divide it in 100 parts and store in different databases in each part. Like I'll store 100 part in 100 databases, so to keep the private key more secure. But this method is called is key escrow, but this is not common to do. Not everyone do it, and it is optional. So many people doesn't do it because of some conspiracy theory and many other causes. So that is all about my presentation. Thank you.